SnowTrax is sponsored by Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next. Yamaha, conquer snow. And by FXR Racing, full throttle addiction.
2 seasons ago, we teamed up with Ski-Doo and launched a contest to find North America's top snowmobiler. The results of that contest were almost overwhelming. The number of entries was astounding, but even more impressive was the total number of votes cast during the contest by snowmobilers just like you from all across Canada and the USA.
An Iron Range man is a semi-finalist in a contest about snowmobiling. He's in the running for North America's top snowmobiler.
Matthew Corbet on the line, who's in that top snowmobiler in North America contest. You've probably seen it going around, especially on Facebook.
After 9 rounds of elimination and over 135,000 votes cast, the winner was none other than Canada's own Troy Burt from the great province of Newfoundland. Not only did Troy go home with this coveted title, but he also got a free trip to Club Ski-Doo and took home a brand new Summit G4 850. This overwhelmingly enthusiastic response from snowmobilers all across North America made this one of, if not the biggest contest this sport has ever seen. After such a massive response to that first contest, it was pretty clear you wanted another chance at the title. So, last season, we brought it back, but with a twist. For 2017, we would be searching for North America's next top snowmobiler. But to make things a little more interesting, we decided to pit Canadians against Americans and make this a battle of countries as well as competitors. As expected, the contest was again an overwhelming success with literally thousands of entries. But in the end, we narrowed it down to 8 Canadians and 8 Americans who would battle it out through another 9 rounds of competition. When the dust finally settled, it was Canadian Justin Evans from British Columbia.
Hey everyone, Justin Evans from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada.
Hey everybody, Ben Hippis back for North America's next.
And American Ben Hiptis from Wisconsin, who made it to the final round. There was never any question that both of these guys were entirely deserving of the title. But what makes this contest so unique in the industry is that voting is left up to you, snowmobilers from all across North America, to determine who the winner will actually be.
I know Canada won it last year, so we got to fight to take the crown away from them and get it back on U.S. soil.
Snowmobiling is Canada. Canada definitely deserves this.
Justin Evans wants to put BC on the map as one of the best snowmobile destinations in North America, but needs her help. The 28-year-old farmer has entered an online competition to become North America's top snowmobile.
And in the end, it was Justin Evans who got the most votes and brought home the win, keeping the title of North America's top snowmobiler in Canada for the 2nd year in a row. As the winner, Justin obviously got all the bragging rights that come along with a title such as this one, but he also won an all-expenses-paid trip to Ski-Doo's 2018 dealer show in Reno, Nevada, where he had the opportunity to check out all the latest Ski-Doo hardware and before he went home, choose any brand new 2018 Ski-Doo model he wanted to keep as his very own.
So, Justin, this is like crazy. You get to pick any snowmobile in this room that you want, and you don't have to pay for it. It's like 100% free, man. That's nuts.
I don't know where to start. Ski-Doo nailed it out of the park with this lineup. Yeah, this is the girl. Wish we could load her up right now and take her home, but gotta be patient.
That appeared to be a pretty easy decision for Justin, who I think had already decided before he got there that he wanted a free ride 154 850. We'd like to send a huge congratulation out to all of the competitors who fought a hard battle that saw over 100,000 votes cast this time around. Now, the question on everyone's mind appears to be, will we see something similar to the search for North America's top snowmobiler return? The short answer is that we always have something interesting up our sleeve, so it'll just be a matter of time.
This past September at Heydays, we took the opportunity to sit down with Arctic Cat's new VP of Snowmobiles, Craig Kennedy. Our valued SnowTrax viewers have had many questions about the changes at Arctic Cat, so be prepared to learn a lot.
Earliest memory of My passion for snowmobiles probably rolls back to, I can remember sitting in 7th grade and getting in trouble because I was sketching snowmobiles instead of doing my homework. Leads you to where my passions are. I'm a power sports nut. I've been on motorcycles since I was 5 years old, came up riding snowmobiles, ATVs, everything that had a motor, went fast. Got into engineering field. I applied up to Arctic Cat on February 4th of 1997. I started in Tiger Shark, actually, working on watercraft as a design engineer. Jumped into the dirt side of the business as we took down the watercraft Tiger Shark business. So I led the team through most of the development of the Wildcat role. They gave me the opportunity, ATV wheeled side of the business, as the product manager. When Textron came in and was given the opportunity to join the organization as Vice President of Snowmobiles and International Business, where I'm at today.
We needed to drill down with Craig on this exceptionally hot topic. Precisely why did Textron remove the Arctic Cat name from Arctic Cat Off Road vehicles? And more importantly, do they intend to do the same thing with the snowmobiles in the future?
Let's just be really clear. Arctic Cat on snowmobiles is going to remain for many, many years to come. There is no intent for us to relabel the Arctic Cat snowmobiles whatsoever. I can confidently tell you there's no Textron branding that's going on the Arctic Cat snowmobiles. We are Arctic Cat. That is a strong requirement from the very top of the Textron organization all the way down.
We asked Craig straight up, how does Textron feel about jumping into the snowmobile business?
Extremely passionate about this product. They are extremely passionate and excited for the capabilities and the strength of what Arctic Cat means as a brand and as a product.
We wondered how big of a job it would be to integrate Textron into Arctic Cat and Arctic Cat into Textron. I'll let Craig explain.
Thief River Falls, our main facility, has not only been able to progress with what we have for products today, but we're also taking on more products that actually were coming out of Textron Off Road lineup. We were seeing the Stampede products come up, and the new Havoc launch is going to be built up in Thief River Falls as well. Along with that, the engines that are currently available from the Textron Off Road side of the business, which was done in Germany, is now being moved over to our St. Cloud, Minnesota facility.
It's no secret Yamaha builds a lot of four-stroke motors for Arctic Cat, and that Arctic Cat builds a lot of snowmobiles for Yamaha in Thief River Falls. There's been quite a bit of scuttle about whether or not this relationship will continue. I asked Craig to comment.
We are dedicated to that relationship. We see a lot of progression happening. We see even greater involvement than what we have today, and a continued dedication to building that relationship stronger over the upcoming years. What I can tell you is that we've got a lot of great things that we're working on together. You guys should really look forward to what we've got coming.
Interestingly, the big news from Arctic Cat in model year 18 is not about four-stroke engines. It's about an all-new two-stroke engine made by Arctic Cat. We pushed Craig for his take on the future of two-stroke engines at Arctic Cat.
I would say the snowmobile industry as a whole has spoke very clearly that the two-stroke is brutally important because of its power-to-weight ratio and what it's capable of doing. In order for us to be successful, we're going to have to continue on that pathway and really drive that.
Arctic Cat has been heavily invested in racing since the company's inception. We wondered, with Textron holding the purse strings, if they will be as equally invested with racing in the future.
Racing is a development opportunity for us, a chance to try new things, to really, stretch our wings and a place that we can go and try some things to see if it works or it doesn't. Kirk Hibbert or Russ Ebert sitting in your slot with you, getting creative and coming up with these new ideas. You're bound to find some that really add to the substance of what your production vehicles can be. It's just making it more robust of what the capability, what the strength, what the overall view of where Thief River Falls and the Arctic Cat brand is going to be for the future. And in that, it's going to be very solid and very strong.
With Textron ownership and Craig Kennedy at the controls, We asked Kennedy what the next few years look like for Arctic Cat snowmobiles.
You know, really, it comes down to having robust plans, robust product plans, and where you want to go for the future. It's going to take some leapfrogging. It's going to take some big changes. It's going to take some great new ideas. When I look at our organization, I feel confident that we have an extremely strong, capable team. Hasn't gotten a chance to open their minds, spread their wings as far as they really can. And that's what we're going to see in the future. We're going to take the gloves off. We're going to apply some strategy. Really, we're going to turn the organization loose and come up with some great new ideas for the future. So I would tell you to stand by and hold on to your seatbelt.
Trail Tech is sponsored by Princess Auto, a unique world of equipment, tools, and more.
It wasn't that long ago that people viewed sled decks as pretty much being just for the mountains. But with the recent adoption of long track, deep lug sleds on the flatlands, we're starting to see sled decks pretty much everywhere. And because of the remote areas that big lug riders look to explore, sometimes a trailer can make things harder to access. Using a deck like the Xplore Pro from Marlon gives you the ultimate versatility and durability, along with longevity that's built right in. And thanks to a fully aluminum frame and deck, this is a product that's going to be with you for the long haul. We started using a Marlon deck last season, and I've been nothing short of amazed at how easy it is to get where I want to go and get unloaded. When I ride, it's almost always off trail. That's where I love to be, and the Xplore Pro fits what I do. The included super glides make walking on the ramp or the deck safer and easier, while also adding the obvious traction and maneuverability for the sled. And when you want to lock in, the Super Clamp 2s are perfect for securement, making your travel experience simpler, safer, and more secure, all while staying legal. And in my books, that means no compromise. One of the coolest features about the Marlon decks, and it's very unique, is that you can actually put any of their decks, 8-foot or 7-foot, into any full-size pickup truck box. The fact that Marlon's all-aluminum deck and frame allows you to slide the mounting legs forward or back means that you can use your deck in the truck that you have now, or should you upgrade and trade up, you can have a different configuration, it'll still go with you. No need to buy a deck if you upgrade your truck. That goes for both the Xplore and Xplore Pro decks. They fit whatever full-size truck that you've got. Marlon decks are here for the long haul, and the Xplore Pro series not only uses an aluminum frame, but it also is decked in aluminum, so it means that there's no deterioration, no rot. And that means for you, no plywood to replace, no painting to be done, it's just that easy. With the adoption of sled decks in the flatlands, we're seeing them pop up everywhere, but it's the design quality of the Xplore Pro that makes it a winning choice. From the complete LED lighting with easy to plug in harness that's been simplified and routed within the deck structure, to the headache rack mounted LED bullet lights and the underdeck LED cargo lights, this thing makes loading smarter, not harder. On top of all of this, the manipulation of the adjustable deck slides is even easier when it gets cold out, thanks to improvements with the UHMW inserts inside of the slide tubes, as well as the rear tubular ramp attachment, reducing friction and keeping the aluminum surfaces from sticking. This new Marlon Xplore deck slides far better than the previous version and allows much smoother operation even when temps drop and snow and ice build up on the deck. The obvious storage benefits of the Marlon are, well, pretty obvious, but it's worth mentioning because a lot of times folks don't realize just how much storage space there still is underneath the deck, even with the ramp in there. With only 4 simple feet in the box, you have nearly all of your box space to use. The collapsible sliding ramp sits nicely into the integrated storage rack and does not impose on your box space. Loading up 4 big cargo bags, fuel cans, a cooler, oil, just about anything else you could want to take along for your weekend trip isn't a problem at all. Or heck, even midweek when you're not riding and piling in construction gear or just taking a load of lumber home for a weekend project, because this thing is like Fort Knox, solid aluminum and very secure. If you're running a lifted truck and you're worried about loading your sleds up on that height, Marlon sells a ramp extender. If you're looking for just an entry-level deck, Marlon has the Xplore series, which is an aluminum frame with a plywood deck. Then if you want to go full aluminum for the deck and the frame, it's the Xplore Pro. All Marlon decks are offered in both 7 and 8-foot configurations. But remember, the 8-foot will still fit in any 6 to 8-foot box because of the adjustable legs. So really, the option is all yours, depending on the length of your sleds that you plan to take with you. Marlon truly is a one-stop company for your sled deck needs. They build to the highest quality and have engineered thoughtful, safety, and ease of use features that are going to not only pay off in the long run, but make your riding experience simpler, safer, and more enjoyable. And when you mount up a new Xplore Pro deck in the back of your truck, you're going to get a lot of head turn in your direction, because on top of all the functionality, the design elements make for one sweet-looking addition to your truck.
Closed captioning of SnowTrax is sponsored by Triton Trailers, built for adventure.
On this week's test ride, we're going to talk about one of the sport's most venerable and potentially iconic rides. Yamaha's Apex is with us again for model year 18. However, the long-term future of the Apex will be a topic of this evaluation. The Apex has roots, deep roots, which go all the way back to the original 2003 RX-1. In 2006, the Apex arrived with the same basic Genesis four-cylinder power plant, updated with EFI and a sort of rider-forward rejiggering of the RX-1's old-school ergos. The original Apex was a hit for Yamaha and in a large way contributed to the company's emergence as a credible four-stroke snowmobile brand. In the late 00s, the Apex sold strong, as did other OEMs' four-stroke models. The result? The four-stroke segment cemented itself at nearly 30% of total industry sales. The strange thing about the Apex is this. In the early part of this decade, it received a significant upgrade, including all-new plastic bodywork, X-Up exhaust control valves, and a move to a 129-inch track. What it didn't receive was a significant upgrade to its ergos. And this oversight is where our confusion begins. The original Apex ergos were not rider-forward enough, and owners begged Yamaha for a taller seat and a more forward-riding perch. The sled caused riders to feel folded up, with knees too high and hips too low. After 10 years in this configuration, you would think Yamaha would respond to this now overtly obvious and annoying ergo paradox. They didn't. Here's reality as we see it. The Apex is among the last snowmobiles being built in Japan by Yamaha. The balance of Yamaha's trail lineup is being built in the USA by Arctic Cat. That's what we see as the future for Yamaha snowmobiles. Notwithstanding this reality, the Apex is back in model year 18 for one more run through the showroom. Truthfully, there's enough committed Apex buyers who are literally in love with their four-cylinder symphonic four-strokes to buy up every Apex Yamaha builds this model year. This reality speaks to the hypnotic nature of this imposing and impressive ride. For model year 2018, Yamaha is bringing another piece of incomparable technological wizardry to the market. It's called YRSS, and it's standard equipment on the 2018 Apex. The acronym YRSS stands for Yamaha Reactive Suspension System. It's a fully developed technology with deep roots in the automotive industry. Explaining YRSS is a little complicated. However, it can best be described as a liquid sway bar. Yes, the Apex still has an integrated steel anti-sway bar up front. However, the sled's front suspension shocks are connected to each other, so the flow of damping oil can move from shock to shock as the sled rolls in turns. This counteractive movement of oil actually works to level the front of the sled when throwing the Apex into twisties. For sure, the Apex is among, if not the most, techie snowmobile in North America, despite its aging status. We strongly suspect the use of YRSS on the Apex foreshadows the use of YRSS on more models in the future, specifically models built in North America. Truthfully, there's lots of sizzle left on the Apex steak. We think the sled's status as the sport's only four-cylinder snowmobile carries a lot of cachet. And without a doubt, the auditory cadence the Apex produces when you whack the loud handle is, in some strange way, almost spiritual. The Genesis 5-valve mill delivers an incredibly smooth and seamless 150-plus horsepower surge. Experiencing it must be included on any snowmobiler's bucket list. Ride quality has been mostly good over the Apex's 12-year run. The only hiccup was the use of a ginormous Fox air shock on the limited edition Apex. The latest single shock skid, called the Single Shot, delivers a plush and compliant ride on most trail surfaces. Keep in mind, the Apex is a big, heavy sled. This mass affects the sled's handling in subtle but profound ways. Although loyal Apexers will argue against this assertion, this is the sled's most significant weakness. It is just plain heavy to rail in the twisties. Having said this, we are intrigued by the addition of YRSS this season. On paper, the setup appears to be an answer to an often unpredictable inside ski lift, something the Apex demonstrates when attempting to rotate the chassis in brisk turns. Yes, the Apex is with us for another year. And yes, it is bristling with incomparable technology. And yes, this has to be the coolest engine ever shoehorned into a snowmobile. So here's our final comment. Could the Apex and its remarkable 4-cylinder mill return in an updated, domestic-built chassis?
SnowTrax has been sponsored by Polaris, see endless possibilities, MBRP Performance Exhaust, Race Inspired, Trail Proven, and by Arctic Cat. Share our passion.
If you enjoyed that video, make sure you hit the like button and then subscribe to SnowTrax TV's YouTube channel that's constantly being updated with fresh content.